Well, me and Dan were talking about it yesterday, and Dan believes that the problem with our country today, that you think that the problems of our country are created because people are people aren't worried about tomorrow. They're looking for
self-gratification today.
I think the outlook, societal-wise, is basically so short-sighted, and that's why our politicians and stuff, I think, what do I know, keep kicking the can down the road, and they're not fixing all these massive problems.
Well, they don't want to face it. They're not the ones that want to sit there and have someone say, well, he's the guy that did it.
I know, but the problem
Even if it's the right thing to do,
but where does the buck stop?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't. It'll keep going on until the shit hits the fan and the place collapses.
Precisely, and that's how every empire collapsed, the same way. They didn't face their problems, right?
That's right.
And eventually the problem will take care of you if you don't take care of the problem.
That's exactly right.
That, to me, it's real simple. We are a short-term society. I mean, look at how we run corporations. Everything is quarter to quarter. You can't think a year or 2 or 5 years out anymore. I think a lot of people live their lives that way now. They're like, screw it. You go around once. I only live once. I mean, I'm going to, I don't want to be married to this person anymore, whatever. Look at the divorce rate. Families are ripped apart. I got to have my fun because I'm here today and gone tomorrow.
But if somebody is married to you, or to me, or to Joe, or Mary,
that's just
and they're not happy with that person,
I'm just saying.
If they're not happy, does it make sense to stay married to that person?
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying in
and
general,
be miserable the rest of your life?
No, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, like take families. I think one of the biggest problems in this country, I think, and the politicians never talk about this, is it all traces back. All our problems in some way, shape, or form, I believe, all trace back to the family. And once you blow the family nucleus apart like we have basically, which is the foundation of your society, the foundation of any house, once you start going tink, tink, tink to the foundation and that crumbles, then the rest of the house goes. That's precisely what
He's talking about not having a father at home.
Right, not having a father figure. So then you don't learn discipline. You don't learn what's right, what's wrong. You don't learn how to manage money. You don't learn what's a normal relationship. So you go off with this woman and have 5 kids before you know it, and then you leave her and go off with someone. That's where we're at in this society, in my opinion.
Well, I think
we all pay for
the way there. We're pretty close to it.
We're on the way. We're on the trajectory.
Do you know that 50% of all births are out of wedlock now?
No, I didn't know that.
50%.
That's what I mean.
And our abortion rate, 30% of all births are aborted.
I didn't know that. That's atrocious. We're murdering 3 out of 10 kids. That's atrocious. I didn't know that. If your divorce rate is on first marriage is roughly 50%, it's a coin toss, right? That's atrocious. I could see maybe 20%, maybe 2 out of 10 marriages fail because nothing's perfect. I get that. But 50% on the first. And then what people don't realize is, well, I'll get divorced, whatever. I'll get married again. I'll solve the problem. No, it actually gets worse on second marriages. It's 70%. And on third marriages, it's an 80% divorce rate.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The overall divorce rate is 60%.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's why I say if the divorce rate is 60...
How can you have a society with a divorce rate that high?
That feeling amongst married people is the same today as it was 50 years ago. The difference is that 50 years ago, people said divorce was not considered as an option.
As a solution.
Didn't get divorced.
That's right.
In the old days.
Right. They stuck it out.
As a result of that, it gave you a false impression that the family was a strong, cohesive unit during that time frame, but it wasn't.
No, that's why guys got drunk and beat their kids.
Okay. That's exactly right.
All right, okay.
Or they went out and
beat
screwed
their
around
wives.
with another woman on the QT.
Okay.
Or the wife did the
same thing. No, those are good points.
Basically, that's human nature. Human nature, and it's the way society deals with those human nature problems. And today, the people today are saying, screw convention. I'm not going to stick around here because this isn't something that I can be cut out for. What I'm trying to say is that conditions are no different today amongst married people and families than it was 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago.
Okay, so let me ask you this, though. Those are good points. But do you think society, overall, now and then, was better or stronger? I see it falling apart.
Well, there's no question that it kept the society more stabilized.
Okay, exactly.
But there's nothing to say that in the future, people aren't going to come to that realization again on their own. Things come and go. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. We're going through a period now where the people feel, screw that, I'm going to do my thing.
No doubt.
Come hell or high water.
No doubt.
But who's to say they're going to, the next generation or two
They
generations,
come back the other way.
they could very well come back the other way.
Well,
As they see what the results are going to be, they got to go through that
Right.
first, and until they're close by in that time frame of when that condition exists,
Yeah.
there's no way they can relate to it. Someone telling you about it means nothing. You've got to go through it or see it in order to make sense of it.
Totally agreed, and I think
Yeah,
all your
looks
points
like
are
it.
great points. The only thing I would say is that hopefully, in our case, let's say societal-wise, we're not at the point where, I know we're on the wrong trajectory. That doesn't mean we still don't have time to pull up, I'll give you that. But hopefully that trajectory we're on, which I believe is like this, hopefully we're not at a point, as Dave thinks, that
We're on the Titanic.
ultimately it's too late. Because, again, if you look at history, you look at every great society, every empire, Byzantine, Ottoman, Roman, whatever, they all collapsed too, and ultimately it was from the inside. It was from society breaking down, getting
Moral
twisted,
decay.
perverted moral decay,
Yep.
sexual crazy stuff, like pornography in this country is rampant now. I sound like a whatever, Bible thumper, but it is. I mean, none of that stuff is helping us.
Dad,
It's
we
not.
got to turn to Jesus.
No,
Jesus
no, no,
will
no, no,
save.
no, no. I'm just saying it's not helping us. You've got mobile devices now, kids with the internet. I mean,
Dad,
my
you will
parents
not-
didn't have to deal with that.
Dad, you will not get into heaven
No, I'm just making a
unless
point.
you write a check right
No,
now
I'm not. Okay, whatever. I'm
To-
not saying that.
to Dan's
I'm
church.
not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying hopefully it's not too late.
Make it 10,000,
No,
and I
no.
guarantee
Even
you
if it
enter.
is too late, Dan, that society may die,
Yeah.
but another one comes
Something will
along to take
continue.
its
Well,
place.
Right.
Okay.
True. True.
So,
You just hope that you're not part of the death, I guess, is what I'm saying too.
well, if you are, you are. If you aren't, you aren't.
Yeah, you're right. You can't worry
You
about.
can't
stuff.
worry
Yeah.
about
No,
it because there's not much you can do about it.